Okay, so in this video, I want to explore a bit around customer profiling and how, if we just take things at face value and top line levels and don't really engage and really dive into what customer profiling is and what it can benefit our organization, we might end up with confused messaging. We might end up with customers that aren't right for us, and we might miss the boat in terms of aligning our sales and marketing with the best types of customers for our business, and therefore our buying and our selling behavior might drift. So in this video, I just wanted to share with you some thoughts around customer profiling, and to help get us started, there's some assumptions that I want us to try and agree on. Those assumptions being that not everyone is your customer, and that is okay. So who are your customers in that respect? Very often we talk to organizations and businesses where, when asked who your customer is, hands go up confidently, and the answer is often anyone who wants my product or service. Mr. Anybody, Mrs. Anyone could walk in that door, and as long as they need or want my service, they're the ones for me. But hopefully, in a more modern sales environment, we can step out of that perception and start to think more logically and rather a bit more in depth about who our customers are. After all, we hope to have long-standing relationships with them, so it makes sense to try and highlight them a bit better and showcase them at an earlier stage, so we can really start to understand who they are. People buy from people. In terms of our agreements, let's just agree that people buy from people like themselves. In a modern sales environment where you are the subject of research, your organization is the subject of research, what is your customer looking for? They're looking for companies and personalities and personas and people who align with their values, their beliefs, the things they say, the things they watch, the things they do, the insights that they can share. Will this person benefit me? Will it make me a more well-rounded individual by having them in my network, by having them in my supply chain, by buying from them? And then also, we're going to dive into how we can look about building a profile that goes beyond just top-line issues, but that you might fall foul of if you don't wholly buy into this as a concept and an exercise. So customer profiling can be a bit like, guess who? For those of a certain age, you'll probably remember this game. A superb game. I think it's still going actually, but a great indication as I grow older now of what stuck with me when I was a kid. This hangs around, doesn't it? How we have to physically describe and guess different personalities and personas based on what we can't see. And it's very much the same in our work environments, in our professional environments. We make assumptions, but ultimately, our customers, we cannot yet see them. We just think we know where they are. And we have to start asking better questions to start making those cards fall down so that what's left, we can assume, is our best customer. So I wanted to just run a little test here, a little exercise with you to help see what I mean by this and how, if this isn't engaged with properly, you can start to drift and your buying and selling might come apart. So here's a persona that we built. Some of you might fall into this way of building customer personas, and this might be something that's familiar to you. Well, our customers, predominantly male, born in the 40s, 1948. They're raised in the UK. They've probably been separated and remarried, married twice. Lives in a castle. Yeah, I'm going to say they live in a castle, and they're probably wealthy and famous. Now, let's say in our organization and team, we had a meeting with the marketing department, with our sales team, our directors, and this is the persona that we gave them. Marketing director, sales director, run off, and they know exactly who they want to speak to because you've given them this persona. A week later, they come back. I say, boss, look, I found it. This is the customer for us. And what they do is they bring back Prince Charles because he's male. He's born in 1948. He was raised in the UK. He's married twice. He lives in a castle and he's quite wealthy and famous. And I say, great, this is wonderful. This is really going to help me along the way. Superb. But then the other director comes in. And they say, boss, look at this. Look what I've done. Look what I've done based on our character personas. Here's the customer I've brought for you. and it's Ozzy Osbourne. And just here, this now confuses me. I go, oh, what's this? I didn't want that customer. But I say, yes, but look, he's male. He was born in 1948. He's been married twice and raised in the UK. He lives in a big castle, and he's wealthy and famous. So neither are wrong. But who's right? Who is our customer in this case? Because we've got two very distinct profiles, our profiles and our personas, and our profiling mechanism hasn't gone far enough. So we get confused and we start talking to Prince Charles and we start talking to Ozzy Osbourne, and none of them end up buying because we're not hitting the right messages. Why? Because we've not really profiled them. So you might, yes, have got the broadest level, you might have got things that you think connect your customer. But then if what you're doing is bringing back Ozzy Osbourne or Prince Charles, and it's going to confuse me, the messaging becomes bland, it becomes not aligned. And if people want to buy from people like themselves, like this guy on screen and this guy on screen, who are we better aligned with? We don't know. So why should they know? So what can we do about it? What is it to do? Well, your profiles need more than just the top line details. I hope you can see why that's important. In the top left of the screen and the diagram there, you'll see the who. Who are they? And what I've done in that exercise is basically describe, well, who they are, a little bit of depth around who they are. But would it be really unheard of to speak to your colleagues in your other departments about adding color onto this persona and characterizing and telling a story about who they are? Not only who they are, but what are their emotional drivers? What annoys them? What frustrates them? What is it that they want? Because this will start to answer or ask better questions about how your service, your provision, your insights, your knowledge and expertise can start to position better to them. Is Prince Charles and Ozzy Osbourne, where do they hang out? Probably in wholly different spaces. But where do they hang out physically as well as digitally? It's important that you take time to check back on that, because during the past 2 years, the whole environment's changed. The B2B buying spaces, buyers are getting younger. So it makes sense that that's evolved. And if your habits haven't changed to align with them, that drift starts to appear. So tell a story about the customer, potentially speak to existing customers to help you populate this example. Ask your customers, what problem did I actually solve you? Where do you hang out online? Where do you go physically? Conferences, exhibitions, networks. Why did you work with us and what would have made you go elsewhere? Have you ever asked a customer these questions? It might be worth looking at. And then understand more about your customers' characteristics and emotional drivers, along with the connection to you. To you, as in why you? Why is someone going to use you and why is someone not going to use you? I think this is a really helpful template for refreshing or reviewing or getting into, in the first place, customer profiling. And I think, hopefully by using examples of Prince Charles and Ozzy Osbourne, we can see that if how you do profile your customers historically is just top line information, you're not really getting to the crux of the matter about who's the best customer, which customers are wanting to work with you, and who you're going to most align with in your buying and selling journey. So customer profiling, a really important topic. I hope that's been helpful. What will you do off the back of this video? I'd encourage you to go back and look back at your customer profiles. Try to come up with 3 to 5 customer profiles that are built more around the characteristics using the example that we've shared in the video. So good luck with that. We'll speak to you soon, and good luck connecting to your customers.